The current footage you're seeing is from a game in progress by the name of Road to Vostok. It's a hardcore first-person survival game with permadeath features, and the game is still upcoming. This is the first playable demo you can actually get. And to answer some questions before I continue on, yes, the game is gonna be on Steam. The game is being developed by two people, one of which the community may know as a person who created 3D maps for Escape Fort Tarkov, especially very precise and accurate maps so you could navigate and all that. And the other person already had worked on the game beforehand. And now, both of them collaborating, the game is going nicely and steadily. And here's what you need to know about this game. So the first thing, this game is gonna be a single player game set in the area between Finland and Russia, and well, it's gonna be available on Steam. So the survival aspect of the game is, well, it's a hardcore survival sandbox game, which it plans to have realistic weapon mechanics, advanced survival systems, and hostile NPCs. Later on in the footage, I tried to see how everything works and all that, and you will see that a bit later on in the footage as well. The NPCs that are hostile can see you quite a distance away and are rather accurate with their shots at times. So this is definitely interesting, and yeah, of course the looting system also plans to be similar to Tarkov, where scavenging, storing, and crafting is involved. By their plans, reading off the website as well, they plan to have hundreds of unique items based on real-world parameters and progressive loot tiers, which means as you progress in the game forward without dying too much and all that, the loot also plans to be better and better as you progress with the game. You will be able to find weapons, tools, consumables, medical items, military gear, electronics, apparel, and much more. Since they also plan to have over 20 medical conditions, including fevers, illnesses, bleeding, of course, since it's a tactical shooter game, there's also gonna be different medical items you'll have to use to heal those, and all of those will be able to, well, you'll be able to find them in the world or craft them in your own small base or home area. And what would it be without a trading system? So they actually plan to have a trade and buy system in the game, which will actually allow you to trade, buy, and sell items to in-game traders, and of course an intuitive refuse and accept value system too. And some of these traders will be able to be used as a Medicare system or weapon maintenance, like repairs or upgrades for weapons, or just adding some next level customization to your weapons like attachments. And speaking of events, if you think that that is not enough for a game, well, they also got you covered there. They plan to have a dynamic game world which will have randomized events like crash sites, airdrops, ambushes, and special trading quests, which will be found in the world, and you will be able to get special customized weapons or items which you regularly would not find that often or at all. Also, environmental weather events like rain, thunderstorms, mist, and so on. If you're interested about difficulty, they also have that mentioned on the website. Of course, what it says is that maps are individual and connected in between each other, and the difficulty is tied to each map based on the NPC AI that is there. The hostile NPCs will vary from difficulty. They may not have such good weapons, maybe some of them will also be more trained and all that. But the main idea is that when you travel east and towards Vostok, the harder, and harder. But in return, there's going to be higher rewards, better loot, better weapons, better medical items, and so on and so forth. So, same how in Tarkov you have your bunker or hideout, as you call it. There's also going to be a safe zone, aka shelter, where you will be able to store your loot, and there's going to be different sizes and different customization options for your area where to stash your loot and rest and heal and so on. And there's going to be they're going to be available for the players, and they're going to be relatively easy to find, and it's also going to be the only way to save your game. So that's in my opinion pretty interesting, and bases off some horror games I have played beforehand where certain areas are the only places where you can actually safely save your game. So talking about the border of the map, the game world is going to be divided by a border zone and a physical border. The border can be crossed using crossing points, which will lead you to Vostok, the main goal of the game. And each of these crossing points will have a unique game mechanic and a certain level of risk associated with them, which will mean that some areas you will be able to cross early on, but for some you will need some better equipment. Maybe if they will implement armor, like body armor and helmets, maybe you'll need those, or better weapons, because enemies are going to be more well equipped for protecting the border or overall just hostile in that area. And here comes the most interesting part, what I think about this project as well. So, Vostok, the main goal of the game, which you will try to reach as you progress through the game and through all the maps and all that. So, Vostok is a dangerous and mysterious zone, as the developers say, and the moment you cross the border by using a cross point, you enter Vostok, you are inside the permadeath zone. And as the developers say, if you die in Vostok, you will lose everything. And when they say everything, it's everything. Your stash, like your shelter, items, and save files. Which means, if you have saved the game up until that point and have all of your shelters decked out, you have the max amount of loot you could carry in your stash and everywhere, as soon as you enter Vostok, and if you die, that's it. You have to start all over again, which is personally a very nice idea and a nice challenge as well, which adds an extra layer of difficulty and probably replayability. I know some players will try to even probably compete amongst each other who can reach Vostok and clear the game without any deaths, or how many tries it has attempted to. And I personally am also very interested in this project, and I am following it as if a couple days ago actually I found out about it. But this layer of difficulty as the final level of the game is very, very interesting, and I know it will cause a lot of sweaty palms, very close calls of healing items when you're super low on health and so on, which is very, very interesting, and I like it. And yeah, this is all the information that I have about the game and that you can publicly access, and devlogs of the developers and their website, and all of the information I could accumulate is right here. The background footage is the freely available demo that you can play, test out the weapons they currently have added into the game. You can add AI into the game, also where you can test out how well do they vary in difficulty in the first area that is, well, accessible. You can loot some items. Of course, they're not usable, but there is one small area where you can find pea soup in a can that is usable for health. You can change time of day and all that, and I actually had a bit of fun trying it out and seeing how well the game functions, and I personally like it a lot already. So yeah, with that being said, enjoy the rest of the footage. You can surely leave your opinion in the comments. You can visit their website roadtovostok.com or visit their store page on Steam and wishlist it, as I have and probably many others have. So with that being said, see you guys in the next video and enjoy the rest of the footage, and yeah.
Эвакуация района началась. Посторонних людей просят держаться внутри помещений. Мы больше ничего не знаем.